Beautiful. It's me, Coach Tiff, your growth and accountability life coach. I'm checking in with you today for your growth talk. Hey, you ever heard of like-minded? Like get with people who are like-minded? That's what I want to talk to you about today. Like-minded, being being around like-minded people. Good morning, good morning. Being around like-minded people. This right here is a game changer. Unfortunately, so many of us, I wonder if it's due to like a lack of vision possibly, or just a lack of belief that there could be something beyond what you see. But a lot of times we spend a lot of our time, our energy, our resources trying to force and convince people to be on the same wavelength as us. Does that sound familiar to you? You trying to force people. You trying to make people see what you see. You trying to make people feel what you feel, right? And you end up investing heck of time doing that, heck of resources doing that, right? And then 9 times out of 10, it doesn't end well because anybody you got to super convince, you got to pull, you got to motivate, you got to turn them up to do something. They generally don't have that same energy necessary to sustain the long haul, right? So what happened? You ended up investing all these resources, all this time, all this energy, and then you're disappointed in the end because it ends up falling flat. This is why we want to invest in like-minded people, right? The Bible says it like this: how can two walk together unless they agree? When I say like-minded, I'm talking to you about agreement. Agreement. Agreement is not complicated. Agreement is actually very, very simple. Okay? So let me give you some game real quick. It ain't going to be long today, but let me give you some really, really quick game on identifying agreement. Number one, I just posted something about this, the recipe for the shift, right? One, my friend, you need to identify who you are. That's first and foremost. Before you get out here and you try to link up and join other people's movements and build all this stuff, identify who you are for yourself. That goes back to our recipe. Is reoccurring, always getting still before God. This is where life is coming from. See, life is not just in what you do. Life is in your thinking. You're transformed by the renewing of your mind. That should tell you right there. Your life is based on decisions. Your life starts in your brain. It starts in your mind, right? Because your mind is what's empowering your actions. And your actions is what's creating your momentum, your movement. Okay? So don't be chasing externals so much. Especially if you chasing externals that have no thought connected to it. Mindless scrolling, mindless action. I ain't even mad at mindless scrolling if you have intentionally curated your timeline to, like my timeline, everything on it is positive. Everything on it is motivational. Everything on it is edifying my spirit. So, you know how people be like, oh, I was scrolling social media and I felt less about myself and I feel like I'm not doing nothing. Well, who you following? Cause my timeline be getting me turned up. I gotta draw back from my timeline for a different reason because it be so full of motivation. I gotta remember, let me get up off of here and go do what I need to do. Like, let me go apply all this stuff, right? So it's like, what are you cultivating? That don't start with externals. That don't start with the stuff that's happening outside of you. That starts with what's happening inside of you. You choosing that. The man you with, you chose him, my friend. The friends you got, the people, the conversations you having, these are your choices. Even if you didn't choose them, you're tolerating them. And that's all connected to your mind. It's connected to your thought process. It's connected to your belief system. It's connected to your vision. It's connected to how you see yourself. So step number one for the shift recipe, you got to get your mind right. And you do that by getting still before God, getting in his word, asking him questions, reflecting, journaling, seeing what's up with you. Where are you at? What's important to you? That brings us to our next thing. Once you get your mind right, you can identify your top priorities. Listen, your top priorities are not going to be the same as mine. Just like our fingerprint. It's nobody else with this fingerprint. So I'm a one-on-one. You hear me? Nobody else like me. Try all you want to. You're not going to find it. It's one Tafanya Nicole Richardson. All right? One. It's just one. Just like it's one of you. And whoever you are, wherever you are, your life should have some priorities, meaning it should be some things that are very, very important to you. This also is based on the season of life we're in, the age we're in. All of it's going to look different, right? Some of you might be in retirement age. Some of you may be in, like, you just popping off the porch and you got to figure out how you're going to put your life together. You might be on that stage. Some of you may be on a stage where you done graduated, you got a little money, now you learning to invest. We all different. You have to identify what's important to you, your top priorities, okay? Once you've identified who you are, your top priorities, the next step is you got to get busy. I'm saying you got to get busy before you link up with like-minded people, because if you're not careful, you'll stop at identifying priorities and, knowing who you are, but you ain't handling no business though, right? Hey, this all got to work together, my friend. You don't want to just be full of motivation and no action, right? You